about to partake in a Kambo ceremony. I think some people are coming in. I'll just wait for some people to come in. Just slide over this, slide this a little bit like that. Hello, hello, hello.
Peace and love, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
I'm drinking some water for those that have joined us so far. The reason why I'm drinking all of this water, how much is in here?
64
ounces.
64 ounces.
This is so in case I purge and the toxins that come out of my body. I have a lot of liquid in my stomach.
Yeah, it's going to assist in bringing up the bile and bringing up the toxins. So it makes a smoother transition if he purges by throwing up.
What's up, Ari? I see you. Yeah, so we wanted to do this ceremony live because Angie and I are getting ready to facilitate a New Year's ceremony. And so I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek at what it looks like for somebody to go through a Kambo ceremony. So I'm gonna stay with you throughout the whole ceremony, and so you're gonna be able to experience with me what I'm feeling. And I'm gonna do the best that I can to stay with you. I have a lot of experience with plant medicines, so I've been through this experience before. But I'm going to give you basically a play-by-play of what I'm feeling in my body as we go through this process. And so Angie here has been serving this frog medicine for 3 years.
Yep, about 3 years now.
For about 3 years now. And she's going to share with you some of her own personal experiences, and she's going to guide us through the process of what this is all about, what the benefits are, and then after she does that, then I'm going to share with you what my intention is of the ceremony, and then we're going to fill me up with a little bit of poison.
So yes, I've been traveling to the Amazon jungle in Peru for the past 6 years, doing my own journey with plant medicine such as ayahuasca in San Pedro, and that is where I connected with the frog, the beautiful bright green frog that actually you see behind us. This is a beautiful tapestry made by the Shipibo tribe, and this medicine is what I call a warrior medicine. It is very powerful. It helps reset the mental, emotional, and physical bodies as well. What makes it so powerful is that it contains over 120 peptides. Now, some people are familiar with peptides. Peptides are what make up amino acids, which make up protein. So it's the smallest molecule. And some of these peptides have been studied to assist in helping with killing cancer cells, also crossing the blood-brain barrier to help with cognitive functions, depression, anxiety, PTSD, addictions. And so my friends, my family in the jungle, Victor and Natasha, they have a lodge called Kambo, which is a combination of doing Kambo and ayahuasca. It's a great reset and a cleanser for moving into deeper medicines as well. And so I actually connect directly with the frogs to receive the medicine. No frogs are harmed in the process. It's actually it's quite a beautiful process. It's almost as if they know exactly what their medicine is being used for. So it's extremely powerful. We go into the jungle at night, very late at night. They're nocturnal, and they stay close to still water. So it wouldn't be the Amazon River. It would actually be further into the jungle, around lagoons and things like that. And we actually call out to them, and then they come out. They make a call back to us, and then we get the frog and we tie them up. It looks like they're going to be barbecued, and you can actually go to my page on my highlights. I have an entire story of my trip to Peru, where I'm actually collecting the medicine directly from the frog, if you want to see the actual process. It's actually a love fest. It's really amazing. And my own personal experience with it is I had I would emotionally eat and just eat. So the first time I did Kambo, it was really powerful, and I didn't even know what results that I got from it until about a week later when I returned to the United States, and I was home eating my favorite meal, and all of a sudden, as soon as I was finished with it, I got full, and I put the fork down. And that was something that I wasn't used to doing. I was used to just eating and eating and eating. So it can have very quick effects where you feel very clear in your mind, and it also can have very subtle effects where you don't notice it until you notice it. So that was what happened with me. So
we're ready.
What's next? Do you want to?
Ready?
Let's talk. So the most important thing about a Kambo ceremony, actually anything that you do in life, is intentions.
That's right.
And so I want to just take this moment with Eric and have Eric share what his intention is for this ceremony. Actually, before you do that, we actually did your first ceremony with me last week. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so about a week or so ago, I did my first Kambo ceremony with Angie, but it was the second one that I had done. And what I experienced in that journey was the medicine was administered, and then you can feel it actually starting to move through your veins. And the first thing that I experienced is that my heart rate started to rise. And then as my heart rate was rising, then I could feel the medicine like going up into my head, and I got really hot. I think I turned
red.
I turned red. Beet red. And I've done the medicine twice. I haven't purged. I haven't thrown up when taking the medicine, but I tend to sweat a lot. So my body really, really heats up. And the first time I did it was like a waterfall of sweat coming out of my body, this big purge was happening. I sweat a little bit in the last one, but you never know. And also in that one, I had to go to the bathroom. So I had a pretty good release that way. If anybody's familiar with working with any of these different plant medicines or medicines like the Kambo, you're going through a detoxing process. So there's a chance that you could throw up and purge this way, purge that way. Your body might shake or get really hot, really cold. It all depends on really what you need in the moment at that time. So yeah, my intention for this one is because it has a really profound effect on your cognitive cognition. Your cognitive cognition.
Let's
So
go with that.
my intention for this ceremony is to have more mental clarity, more mental focus, and to be just really calm in my mind. The word that comes to me when I think about that is equanimity. Is about being calm in the storm of my thoughts. And so that's what I'm looking for out of this ceremony, to be more clear, more focused, laser awareness.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. How are you doing with the water?
I'm finished.
Oh, okay. So one thing that I noticed the first time we did Kambo, he literally finished the water within 5 minutes, and most people, including myself, really struggle with the water. That can be the toughest part because it's so much coming into your system at one time. So I just want to talk a little bit about the way that it's administered. So what I do is take a little stick. This is called a tamishi stick. And it's a vine from the Amazon jungle, and what I do is I light this, and I'm going to put a little dab. Maybe you can see the 3 on his arm from last week, I'm not sure, but what I do is I light it, and then I dab his skin, and then I remove the top layer of the skin, and that allows the medicine to go directly to the bloodstream. Now, some practitioners focus on very specific points. And the way that I was taught is doing on the arm or the back of the neck. And the best, because Kambo is this bright green frog, it correlates to the heart chakra, and it's a heart medicine. So I've been taught to do it closest to the heart. And some practitioners do it on different meridian points, which is perfectly fine as well. Because Eric wants to focus more on the cognitive part, what I'd like to do is I'm going to actually do it on the back of his neck. And so what I'll do is I'll actually have him turn around so that you guys can see what we're doing here. And just to give you a little visual of the setup that I have here, first of all, I have this is Malachi, and this is my Malachite frog who is supporting us during the ceremony. This is the Kambo stick, and this is, you can see the shiny portion right here. That's the medicine, and I've used all of this right here. And then you have all of this right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to first make the points on Eric, and then I am going to have him put some of his saliva on the stick, and the enzymes in the saliva activate the medicine. Now, some practitioners will use their own saliva. When I'm doing ceremonies, I prefer to use the person's saliva. It connects with their DNA. And so that's what we're gonna do here. Like I said, the enzymes in his saliva will activate the medicine, and then I'm going to put that on each point. And from there, you might even see him turn beet red. So let's get started.
It's a good chance of that. And I have my bucket here just in case I purge. I'm not expecting that, but there is a good possibility that that is going to happen.
And we also, I also keep a roll of tissue close by because sometimes there can be a lot of releasing of mucus and, you know, the snot, all the beautiful things that come out when you're purging. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and get his. Actually, would you mind taking these off? Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for joining us. We're really excited to share with you some indigenous medicine from the Amazon jungle. This is a powerful medicine, as I mentioned earlier. Here we go. We've got the first light here. Take a deep breath. And I typically will do 3 points with saliva because 3 is a pretty good detox, and it also depends on the person. Some people have a much higher, some people require a little more, so I typically will start with 3 if the person is healthy. If the person is maybe coming off opiates or any type of medication for a long time, I will usually start with a lower amount and see how their body responds to it, and then move up if necessary. Take a deep breath. Beautiful. So we're just making the gateways here, and I'm gonna do 3 of them on Eric. I learned about Kambo medicine from my dear brother in the jungle, Victor Escobar, who owns Kambo Waska, and he is literally, take a deep breath. He is literally like Tarzan. He's from the jungle, and he's been working with this medicine for over 17 years. And there are thousands of people who have gone to the jungle to explore with him and also work with these indigenous medicines. Something that I'm very proud of is his support of the villages and the people and the children. And when I travel there, we actually go to the different villages and we take products and items, clothing and toys and books and things like that for the children. And that, I would say, is probably what I'm most proud of, and being able to show a lot of these villagers who are not familiar with the medicine in their backyard. And we've been able to assist people with malaria, and different issues in the gut, ulcers and things like that. So it's been really, really powerful. So we've got the 3 gateways here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have Eric collect some saliva in his mouth. And then grab the bucket just in case. And then just, what I'm going to do is just have him drop it right there on the stick. Perfect. And then I'm just going to mix this up right here. And this is going to create a like kind of wasabi-like paste. And you need very little medicine. This medicine goes a long way. Very, very powerful. Just to give you guys an idea. And then what I'm going to do at this point is I am going to separate them into 3 little different circles here. And here we go. We're going to get started now. So here comes the first one. So what I'm going to need you to do, so when we're putting the medicine on, wherever it's at, we just want to make sure that we are not going to move in any way that the medicine is going to be rubbed off from these particular points. So what I'm going to do is just fold Eric's shirt down a bit. There we go. We've got all 3 on. Let me just show them what it looks like. Okay, you know what? You can stay there. I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like as he moves into the medicine here. Here we go. So we've got the 3 points right there.
No, I can feel it already.
My heartbeat is going faster. My face is hot. Oh, now my heartbeat is really starting to race. Body's getting warm.
I am lighting some mapacho, which is tobacco that comes from the Amazon jungle. We typically use this in ceremony for protection and also assisting in the releasing of toxins.
Heartbeat's still running fast. My body's heating up more. My hands are tingling. I feel nauseous in my stomach. feel some movement in my intestines. I feel lightheaded and dizzy.
Are you okay?
My body's really hot.
Continue to focus on the breath, letting your attention to
Starting to sweat. And my body's vibrating like a humming.
yeah, this one's much different. So what's happening right now as as the medicine's moving through his body, it's going to his organs and it's cleansing and purifying them. So it's moving into the liver, and it's also moving into the gallbladder, releasing old bile, crossing the blood-brain barrier. Major sweat is a typical reaction, especially in the first ceremony. The first time that I did Kambo, I was in the jungle and I literally took all of my clothes off because I sweat so much. This one feels much different energetically from Eric's ceremony last week, where we did it on his arm. This one I feel almost like it went straight to the brain. Do you need anything? And people have different reactions. Some people will purge by throwing up. Some will use a toilet. Some will breathe through the entire thing, and it's just different for everyone. And sometimes each ceremony will be different for each person as well. So you may use the toilet on one, and the next you may throw up. The next you may sweat. It just depends on the person and what they are moving through in that moment. Eric is very experienced in plant medicine, and he really focuses a lot on his breath. So, which is the key. The breath is life, as you all know. It is the first experience in the human body and the last experience as well. Alex, thank you for being here. Thank you. Jay, Megan, we love you. Thank you so much for being here. Emotional purging is very common as well.
Coming down. I'm feeling the effects of the medicine. Ooh, coming down.
Beautiful work.
I still feel a little bit in my stomach. Ooh. This feels like an energetic purge. Those tears that came was a feeling that I had when I thought about other people's suffering. Because you mentioned somebody's name, and I'm aware of what they're going through in their life, and I was like tuning into their feelings and their emotions. So that was a purge that I had for somebody else for their feelings.
You know, as people who hold space for others in their healing and assisting them, a lot of times, and empaths as well, we can feel the energy of what people are going through, which is a gift in the sense where we are able to really tune into their energy without them needing to speak. And over the past couple of weeks, Eric and I have worked with a couple of people in assisting them in their healing, and it's been quite powerful. And I'm really amazed at the space Eric has been able to hold for people, because it can be very intense. And as you know, we all have different energies and spirits working with us and working through us, and we have really spent our lives working to uncover, peel back these layers of fear that we've been conditioned to believe in, whether that's through our parents, through loved ones, through the government, through religion, society, friends, and what this work is really about is allowing, liberating the soul. And a big piece of that is allowing our inner child to be free. Many of us have really spent our lives reconnecting and remembering our inner child, and that is the work. And a lot of this work is not pretty. Again, Eric is experienced in this type of medicine, and he's journeyed with plant medicine for many, many, many years. So he's done a lot of his own healing, which allows him to hold that space for other people, and I have as well. And so we are now in this space where, even though we can feel what other people are going through, we're able to observe it without having to fully take it all on and make it ours. And that is more of absorbing it. We no longer need to absorb it. We're able to hold that space for them to heal themselves. And remember that you are your own healer. And again, this work is not, it's not always beautiful. I mean, this honestly is probably, this was a beautiful ceremony, and I really appreciate your courage and your vulnerability, and even having the idea to do this live. When he mentioned it to me, I was like, whoa, like who's ever done that before? And we really appreciate you all being here, and just know that you are your own healer, and whatever you are ready for will show up. And it's just a matter of you putting that into your belief and putting that into your thoughts. And when you do that, it lines up and it shows up for you. And
I'm feeling it in my head right now. I feel like I'm receiving what my intention was. I can feel the medicine like up in my brain. It's really cool. My temples are vibrating. My third eye is vibrating. I feel like I'm receiving the gift.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
All up in there, huh?
Yeah.
All up in there.
Yeah, so, everybody, this is what my intention is for the new year, for 2021. As Angie was mentioning, I've been working with plant medicines now for over 10 years. I've done more than 100 ayahuasca ceremonies. I've done more than 50 mushroom ceremonies, peyote ceremonies, and these medicines have brought so much healing and transformation into my life. I'm feeling really emotional right now. I could cry. I've taken a lot of my clients over the years to the medicine. I've brought them down to Peru, and I want to continue to bring this knowledge, this understanding that the indigenous people have. They have this profound relationship with nature and the medicines of the earth, and the benefit that we can all get from these medicines is so profound on so many different levels, that I really want to bring this to as many people as possible. So that's what my intention is. They've assisted me in saving my own life, healing traumas from my childhood, from all different types of abuse, being addicted for years, and battling with different substance abuses over the years. And I feel just really blessed to be able to share this experience with you. This woman sitting next to me, Angie, is incredible. She walks her talk. She walks a path of beauty and of integrity and honor. And thank you for serving this medicine to me. And as some of you know, we're hosting a retreat for New Year's, and Angie will be serving Kambo, and also we'll be having a plant medicine journey as well. So you'll be hearing a lot more from us over the next few weeks leading up into January of 2001. So we hope that you enjoyed
2021. Are we going to 2001 now?
Did I say that?
Well, time doesn't even really exist. It's just in our mind. So let's go to 2001. Why not? It was a great year. Yeah, it was a great year. And I just want to ditto what Eric said. Now is the time for deep healing, and I'm so grateful in my own personal journey to have been called to the Peruvian Amazon jungle to do a lot of my own clearing and all of my healing, because I am now in a space through the Amazon jungle and working with ayahuasca and working with San Pedro to be able to be in this space right now at this time when so many people are awakening to their own powers, and a lot of people really don't know where to go. And so I think that it's very important for you, when you choose people to work with, to really tune in to who they are. Really look at their story. Are they walking that? Are they walking what they preach about? Are they preaching? Are they what?
Walking their talk?
Are they walking their talk, and are they practicing what they preach?
Right.
Because there are a lot of people out here who are really just about monetizing this, and a lot of the work that I do it's not just for myself. It's not just for you as a person receiving the medicine. It's also to give back to the jungle and to give back to the villages. And this beautiful tapestry that you see behind us was handmade by the Shipibo tribe. And during this time of COVID, a lot of their money has been coming from tourism. And tourism was completely shut down. And so a lot of the villages are suffering right now. And many people are unaware of it because the focus is, I want to go to the jungle and I want to heal myself, but they're completely oblivious to what's happening. So I urge you, if you are feeling called to do any type of journeying, whether it's in the jungle or in any other part of the world, working with indigenous people, please be mindful. Take books with you, take clothing with you, take gifts with you that you can give back to the land and that you can share with the people, because this work that we're doing, this is not about monetizing, okay? This is about sharing this medicine. I was chosen to share this medicine, and I never knew that I would be on this path. I had a corporate background, I was making great money, and then the rug was pulled from underneath me, and I knew that it was time for me to step in my power. And some of you may know Eric's story, what he was doing before all of this. And many of you are maybe just now finding out about who he truly is. And it took all of those experiences to make him who he is today, just as all of the experiences that you have, whether it's trauma, pain, whatever it is, all of that is serving you. And we're just so grateful for you to be here. What I'd like to do now, if you want to continue talking, I'd like to just go through some of the comments.
Yeah. I was noticing some of the comments.
Oh, let's just bring us a little closer.
And I just want to make it really clear with everybody, you know, what we're talking about here is about the liberation of the soul. It's about healing from trauma. It's about healing our ancestral lineage, helping to understand the programs that we receive from our ancestors that get passed down from generation to generation to generation. And so that's what this work is all about. The work is about opening up the heart, healing from traumas from the past, deprogramming and deconstructing ancestral lineage programs that get passed down from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next. Now, can you do that without plant medicine? Yes, you can. Of course you can. These plant medicines that we're talking about, like mushrooms or ayahuasca or iboga or peyote or frog, or Kambo or bufo frog medicine, these are accessible to assist us in this process of liberating the soul. But there are also other ways to do this without medicine, like Vipassana meditation, or having somebody that has experience in this work to guide you back into your childhood, to connect with your inner child, so that you can address those things that happen to you in your life. And that's the work that we're interested in. That's the work that we do. And we're just, feeling ready to share all of this on a larger scale.
Yes.
Yeah, we're both working on a few different things to bring all of this information and this knowledge to as many people as possible. And that's really what it's all about. It's about the liberation of my soul, of her soul, of your soul, and collectively, the collective consciousness of humanity, to bring us all together so that we can end this separation and this division, this illusion that has been imprinted onto us. We're seeing more separation and more division than we have ever seen before on this planet.
And that's with intention. When fear is injected, it separates us. And so you think about mask on, mask off, racism, all of that. So this is about remembering who we are. And when you think about when you were a child, none of that mattered. You weren't thinking about what color somebody's skin was, what their hair looked like, and if you did, you were more excited about touching it and learning more about them, as opposed to saying, "Oh, they're not like me." Mm-hmm. We value the differences, and this is what we are returning to. And mark our words right now. Many people are remembering who they are, and what that does is it pulls them out of the matrix of the systems that we've been in, and it reconnects us with our true selves, nature. And so with that said, I just want to go through a few things that people are saying. Jenny Nicole 222, yes, it is. It actually assists in, she asked, is it safe for people with high blood pressure? It actually assists in regulating your blood pressure. I know apple cider vinegar is great for that as well. And also, with regards to the way that people purge, a lot of people make the assumption that you have to throw up with Kambo. That is not the case. I have seen people breathe through the entire thing, never throwing up, and maybe like an hour or so later, they sleep for 5 hours straight. So it just depends on where the person is energetically and what their body is releasing. So it's not true that everyone needs to be throwing up. Crown and Albrook, thank you so much for assisting in answering some of these questions. Let's see here. Yes, burping is releasing ancestral trauma. Would you agree?
Yes.
And thank you all for your love and light. Yes. Okay. Okay, so has TOEIC. Has anyone ever had serious adverse reactions and needed to go to the hospital? I've done Kambo on probably close to 400 people. I have not had one issue. And again, I make sure that before we even go into ceremony, that we have a discussion, and I make recommendations on how to cleanse the body for at least a week prior to the actual ceremony. So I have not had anyone ever have an adverse reaction. And I'm also intuitively guided. So Kambo, the spirit of the frog, is with me during ceremony. So if I have a feeling that I need to start with less gateways, I will do that, and then I will move up. I think that is so important. And if someone is feeling uncomfortable, I have different ways that I can assist them in bringing them down from the medicine. So you've had you just need to write it out. Yes. And a lot of this is really about getting out of your own way. And this is where the breath comes in. It's very important for you to breathe through these things. Yes, thank you all for your love. Oh, Megan.
Hi,
yes.
Megan.
Hey, Megan.
We love you.
I see you. I was curled up on the floor crying and barfing last week with Angie. Yes. You had such a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. Yes.
I see Alex
Amazing.
in there, my
Yes.
brother from Man Tribe. If people don't know what Man Tribe is, look it up. My brother Alex is a force and just a beautiful soul. And he's been leading men. I think, maybe some of you might have seen some photos and stuff of some Man Tribe events, but definitely check out Man Tribe. That's my brother.
So Nina G Fitness, how long does the experience usually last? Again, it depends on the purpose. Excuse me, the person. So my very first one lasted like 10 to 15 minutes. Very, very quick, very intense also. And some people, I would say like 15 to 45 minutes. And thank you for that, Megan, for answering that. Yes.
And this is Serge. So Serge is in there responding a lot. That's
hey,
my
Serge.
brother Serge. Anybody who's been on my page, the guy who is in the cold plunge for like 19 minutes, that's my brother Serge, who went through my program, The Beauty Way, and we just had an amazing experience together. And he's also a medicine man.
Beautiful, Serge. Thank you. Yes, Serge. I see you all up and through the comments. I love this. Yes, and and everybody is different. And you have to remember that we live in a toxic environment. And when I say toxic environment, I'm talking about thoughts. I'm talking about the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the food, the genetically modified organisms, all of those things. Yes, Bavina, thank you so much for your tobacco prayers. Yes, thank you. Thank you all. Everything is connected. Yes, absolutely. A day retreat in Cali. Yes, yes. Hachuma. Yes. Bavina. San Pedro really, really got me. I had a much different experience than most people have had with San Pedro Huachuma. Very, very powerful, very, very deep ancestral clearing. Thank you all for your comments. And it looks like, let me see here. I just want to scroll through. There's so many comments. He can share with us his story and what events led. Oh, if Eric feels led, can he share with us his story and what events led him to being a vessel for spirit to move through and allow him to be a blessing and light for others? Oh, we've got the documentary. We've got your book.
Yes. So what was the question you're asking?
This was from Celebrate W11. If you feel led, can you share a little bit about your story and what events led up to you becoming this vessel for spirit to move through you and allow you to be the blessing and light for others that you are?
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. That makes me want to cry. Well, it's a long story and a long journey. I actually just launched a new website, which is IamEricNeese.com. And on my website, there's actually a 48-page overview, a detailed overview of my journey. Also on my website, there's a 22-minute sizzle reel for a documentary that I'm working on, which is going to be about the story of my life and my journey. But what brought me to the medicine was one particular experience that I had, which a lot of people don't know about, but it will be in the book and the documentary, obviously. So when I grew up with a lot of trauma in my life. I experienced sexual abuse and physical abuse. And when I was 12, 13 years old, I lost my virginity to a woman who raped me. And so my innocence was taken away from me at that time. And then later on in my life, when I was in my 20s and I was doing the real world and the grind and all of that, and I was at the height of my career, there was a predator that came into my life and brainwashed me, manipulated me, and stole about $300,000 from me and destroyed my career in the entertainment industry. And at that time in my life, I was on the verge of suicide. I felt like I had no way out, and I was ready to take my life. And so from that moment, not much longer after that was when I met my grandmaster. My grandmaster was an 8th generation grandmaster from Vietnam who was a 21 Den black belt in 3 different martial arts, the grandmaster of the I Ching and Feng Shui, and Buddhism, meditation. And I lived off and on with him for 6 years of my life, training with him. But the pivotal moment that changed the course of my life was when he did a test of my blood pressure, and he told me that if I didn't change my ways, I was going to develop a blood clot and I was going to die within 10 years. And that dramatically changed the course of my life. And what's interesting about the story and about what happened to me when I was in my 20s with that manager who also molested me, many years later, when I was in the jungle in Peru in a ceremony, I was in the jungle for about a month at that time, and 3 weeks into my ceremony, I was battling. I was in this fierce battle with myself, and I was really uncomfortable, and that was going on for about an hour. And finally, I just screamed in my head, why am I fighting? What is it that I'm fighting? And in that moment, that the manager's face appeared in front of me. And I felt all of this rage and all of this anger rush through my body, because this guy, I thought it was the worst thing that had ever happened to me in my life. And in that moment, when I thought that, grandmother ayahuasca, or the spirits that were working with me in that moment, they said to me, if he didn't come into your life and do that to you, you would be dead. He actually saved your life. And obviously I was in shock. But then grandmother ayahuasca took me into this deep gratitude for this man who did this to me. And I forgave him in that moment, and I let all of that go, and I had a very deep emotional release, and I cried for about 2 hours. And so the one thing that I thought was the worst thing that happened to me in my life was actually my greatest gift. And that's the approach that I take in life now. I don't see, my perception of life has completely shifted and changed. I don't see things as good or bad. I don't see things as good or evil. I see things as we are these beings of light that have come from another star here to planet Earth, where we have a choice to either go down the path of fear or go down the path of love. We have the free will to choose whatever life it is that we want to live. And I choose love. I choose the path of love. I choose the path of honoring this temple. I choose the path of remembering who I am, why I'm here. And what I realized through all of this is that we are made up of 4 elements: air, fire, water, and earth. And those 4 elements are constantly, unconditionally giving of themselves to each other. And that's what we're made up of. My physical body is made up of air, fire, water, and earth. So if I want my life to have meaning, and I want my life to have purpose, and I want to feel connected and whole, then that means that I must give of myself just like the elements do, because that's what I am. And so it just makes sense to me, and I get it. And I understand now that it's in giving that I receive. So that's why I walk the path.
That's
Quick
so
little
beautiful.
story.
Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really powerful.
Yeah, thank you for asking
Yeah.
and listening.
Yeah. So we are coming up on an hour, and again, we want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. And again, we will be hosting this beautiful 4-day, 3-night retreat, New Year's, and it's all about liberating the soul. If you look at Eric's Instagram or his Facebook, or if you go to my page as well, we have the links in both of our bios that goes into detail about what we are doing. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Again, thank you all so much for your time, your energy, and your love and your light during this vulnerable process. And we will save this and post this on IGTV, so please feel free to share. And again, if you have any questions, or if there's in any way that we can support you, please reach out to us. Jay, give us the details. So the details are going to be, it's going to be 4 days, 3 nights, hot springs. We actually have a dear brother from the Navajo tribe coming in, Ron. He's going to be facilitating 3 sweat lodges, major powerful healing. We're also going to do some Kambo ceremonies. We're going to do some plant medicine as well, and we're going to do some deep inner child work. We've got some surprises for you guys. So please be ready to show up and to allow yourself to let go and allow your inner child to join us, because this is really who we are working for. Yeah. So thank you all. Thank you again so much for your.
Let me
Nina.
respond to this. Why you are tearing up?
No, Nina. She said she's tearing up.
Yeah. So why am I tearing up? Why is she tearing up? So the information that we're sharing with you now, it's resonating with your soul. It's resonating with your inner child. What we're sharing with you is universal truth of who you are, why you are here. What is the purpose and what is the meaning of our existence together, our collective conscious existence together here on earth? It's to come together, not only with each other, but for you to come together with your inner child.
Yes.
For you to be the protector of your inner child. For you to be in integrity. For you to be in a vulnerable state. In transparency. Not to hide anything. No more hiding. The hiding is over. All the masks are coming off. We're going to reveal the shadow and the darkness that is within all of us. We're going to bring it to the surface. We're going to bring it to light, and we're going to give it a big hug, and we're going to love it. We're going to share our light and our love with the darkness, and we're going to dance with the darkness. And then we don't have to worry about anything, because fear is an illusion, and there's nothing left to judge. Once you have revealed everything, once you are transparent and vulnerable with your story, with your life, with everything that has been done to you and everything that you have done to somebody else, it's over.
And with that said, love and light to all of you.
Blessings.
Peace. Thank you again.
Good night, everybody.